welcome back to another very impromptu video. I just had to sit around for a couple minutes while the cops were hanging out nearby with their siren on. Our neighbor with a very loud, in need of some engine work truck just finally left. I think I need to sound baffle myself in a tiny hole to do this in the future, but for now, let's look at some stuff that I just got from Five Below. I'm gonna have to take my hands off the fluffy mic to do that. This one isn't an unboxing so much as just a show and tell here. Some Sonic the Hedgehog pins. I think I need to move my light too. I can't lift it too high without it going out of the light. These are nice though. It's always cool to find video game stuff that isn't Mario or Nintendo related. And the number two choices. Number two appearance is always Sonic. So that's cool. We've got original Sonic illustration. We've got original Sonic sprite. We've got Sonic established 1991 world's fastest hedgehog. That says Atta-Boy. Oh yeah, Attaboy Inc. I was looking at the camera when I was turning it over. And we've got a Let's Go, which I believe Five Below also had a design of that on a t-shirt. These sound pretty nice. As always, pardon the cars driving by. Enjoy the sounds of other people going about their lives and getting away from me. Here's the next one that I picked up, a Kirby soft vinyl figure. Twinchees? It's a soft vinyl figure, but it's definitely hard inside. And we've got one of 8 types. It could be Kirby A, which looks like a traditional Kirby with his arm raised as if he's looking off into the distance. We've got a Sailor Waddle Dee, which would be fantastic to get. We've got Scarfy. We've got Kirby B in a cannon with the hard hat ready to be fired. We've got Kirby C. That's just a happy hammer Kirby. We got good old Rick. We got Kine or Kine. And Koo. I'm not too familiar with those 3. I recognize Rick. I recognize Koo. I don't really know anything about them though. Takara Tomy, T Arts Company Limited, 7910, Tataishi Katsushikaku, Tokyo. We've got the official Kirby seal of approval. So you know this isn't some knockoff junk. This is legit canon. And so let's see. Let's open it up. I think my wife already ruined the surprise for me by feeling the bag. She's very good at feeling packages and telling what's inside. I should have had her do this when we were at the store. It's not tearing so well. And we have received, yep, it's the one that I didn't want it to be. Can anyone tell me if Kind's general, like, default pose is laying down like a freaking Magikarp. Because I don't know how it's gonna stand up otherwise. Well, there we go. It does feel nice. It is a soft vinyl. Oh, Lord, I can't move that light. Also, I realized now that I don't know if any of this is in focus. Hopefully, I don't know how close we can get and still be in focus either. But there's a Kind, or a Kine. It feels like it should be the kind of plastic that has a little more squish to it. And it's also real cheap. You can see where the butt was just glued on. Wow. Does anybody want a vintage Kine Kirby vinyl? Because I don't. Let's move all that aside and move on. Let me take a drink of coffee since it's after 2 p.m. here. And listen to the neighbors continue driving by, going about their business, going farther away from me. It's the best spin I can put on it. Here's the other one, the third thing that I've got for today that I picked up. These, I picked these up at Five Below over the last, like, 2 years or something, and they didn't have a box for this one, and this was just shoved in among the other stuff on the shelves, like, along with the Kirby and a couple of these other blind bag things from Paladone. So I'm hoping the one that I have, oh gosh, I hit the cord. The one that I do have is the N64 controller, which is awesome. I think that's getting in focus. I think the autofocus is working okay on my phone. The light needs to be up higher though. So yeah, I got this N64 controller. It's pretty authentic, pretty well modeled. If it had a tiny rumble pack that could slot in here, that would be amazing. But it's cool to sit on my shelf. The buttons do not work, unlike the PlayStation ones we poked at before. So, let's see. What do we have? Original Game Boy. We've got NES controller, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, a 3DS. It's very hard to make out down here. GameCube, Super NES, and N64 controller. And this one, unlike the Kirby, I'd be happy with any one of them. Even a second N64 controller, but I really hope it's not an N64 controller. So let's just crinkle that a little bit longer, because I think that sounds nice. I really need to get a, I don't know, like a towel or something down here for my elbows to rest on, because you can really hear them, like, rubbing against the poster board background. It's not until you put the monitor headphones on you really come to appreciate how much sound the microphone picks up. Alright, so, classic console. I should have gotten some scissors, but let's try and tear this open. Oh, it's much easier than Kirby was. And this time we have been given by the fates. Trying to grab it, keep it in focus, and not see what it is. A white envelope. It's a white envelope. Oh, it's in tissue paper. That's excellent. Oh, this one is... you can tell somebody really fondled this in the package, trying to figure out what was inside. Like, this is all ripped open. Oof. And it's going to be... could it be an original Game Boy? Excellent. With keychain, but we will immediately, well, later on, we will, oh, okay. Later on, we will use pliers and get that off there. Hey, the D-pad. Yeah, the D-pad and the buttons squish on this one. Oh. With a very hollow sounding spring inside. Oh, so once again the heater has come on. I meant to turn the heater off. Great. I can't quite undo it. Alright, well that's great. Now we've got N64, we've got Game Boy, and we've got kind and some Sonic the Hedgehog buttons that we picked up today. And that's great. Yeah, the N64 doesn't, thought maybe the stick moved, but it doesn't. Also, I don't know what that was for. Just realized, just noticed that. Cool. I did want to take some time and try out something else. Let me move all this stuff out of the way. Alright. One of the ideas that I had for maybe something that might be interesting for people, and I don't know if this has already been done or not, but just some controller fiddling. I wanted to see how it sounded, and if people enjoy a controller fiddle. I really like the click. This might be my favorite click on an analog stick. The shoulder buttons don't feel quite right on this controller because I had taken it apart. It stopped working, and I don't know, I probably didn't get it put back together quite right. The shoulder buttons feel... L1 and R1 at least feel like I didn't get things back together right. They're very squishy, but the trigger... Can you see that? It still has a little bit of the analog push, but it doesn't lend itself to making very good sounds. So. And the buttons... Oh, got some classic PlayStation button sound there. And of course start and select are pretty silent. They're just this rubber. Oh my god, car. I wish I could say that that was irregular, but it's all the time around here. D-pad. Oh yeah. So this was not the controller I set out to do this with, but it's the one controller I had on hand that didn't have a cord to worry about. So I just wanted to see how that sounds on playback and maybe on video and see See if anybody likes that. I'd like to do a little more. Kind of along these lines. Just touch and feel and hear the various sounds of different hardware. I've got plenty of it to play around with. So, all right. Well, we'll get our buddy out here in the middle of the frame. Oh, it doesn't even. There we go. There we go. Let's do a little bit more of this. Thanks for watching, anybody who watches. I don't know. I'd like to do some more stuff like this, but there's so many accommodations to be made. There's so many sounds. If somebody comes to the door and startles the pack of dogs that live next door, they'll just be barking for 15 minutes about whoever or whatever it is, a twig that falls in their yard, or a squirrel that runs across the street that they weren't expecting. So it's hard to find the time and the time that allows me to record without buying some serious baffling. I think that might be the next thing I try and pick up here. Just some sound baffling to see what it's like if I can put myself in a cone of baffling. If I have to lay on the floor with my head in a closet in a box made of baffling just to be able to record while cars are driving by, I'll do it, but I may not do it that often. Well, it's a little bit of a short one, but I wanted to do an unboxing of those blind bag things I got. Glad I got a Game Boy and not just another N64 controller. My Game Boy, our Game Boy collection is not too big, so and I have a lot of other Game Boy shaped things. Like a GameCube controller would have been pretty cool, but oh well, you get what you get, and at least it didn't cost like $14 to import one. It's the one good thing about Five Below. It's kind of like going to a Daiso or a Yakuin shop in Japan, which I miss a little bit less each day that it gets farther away from when we were there, but yeah, there's just little things that like vaguely remind me of being in Japan now. I kind of miss them, so I don't know. Maybe sometime we'll go over all the stuff that I picked up from there if you didn't watch one of the other non-ASMR videos on my channel about all that stuff. It's been 2 months now. Yeah, it's been like 2 months since we were there. It already feels like a lifetime ago. But anyways, I'm going to put a fade in here, and thank you once again for watching. Let me know what you think and what you'd like to see, and I'll be back with some more ASMR or non-ASMR